Well, hi. Welcome back, everyone. It's been a while since I've been able to put on the entire goth attire, and I am loving it. I miss this with great passion, trust me. Recently, I was kind of going through some of the videos that have been pulled down, and I came to look at one of the first videos that where I actually started making content aside from video art. And the person I saw, I miss. That was a very different person. They weren't an anti-SJW. They weren't an edgelord. They weren't so hateful and mean and honestly, like, I got to see what the internet did to me. I like the attitude that I have. Like some of the videos that I've made in the past, I really wish I could dedicate that fervor, that tenacity towards the right wing. Sadly, being scared of being called an SJW, in some of these videos, I would start off making a really good point for women's rights, for LGBTQ rights, for the rights of people of color, for the position of the left. And then, because I wanted to be an edgelord, and I was stupid. I would use that fervor, that tenacity, and say something just so fucked up it would completely destroy and obliterate the argument I was making in favor of something I would actually be in favor for. And in that time, I had no idea I was making dog whistles to the right. That was stupid. That was the anti-SJW days. I'm glad they are over. Definitely doing things different moving forward. I have learned since then. See, and I'm going to show you a clip of this first video because I want to show you the me that I was before I started doing that crappy anti-SJW thing, content. And I want to be very clear. When I was making the anti-SJW content, I thought I was going up against authoritarianism. This is always how it was framed. I am anti-authoritarian. And when I perceive something that is authoritarian, I don't care. I literally do not care if it comes from the left or the right. I hate authoritarianism. I really do. Don't tell me what the fuck to do. Don't you fucking dare. My life, my choice, ultimate bodily autonomy. And I wish I could have the foresight to spread that to other people. So I had so this video that you're going to see from the original days, I think it was one of the second video I uploaded. I had no idea about the internet. I did not know what an SJW was. I did not know about political YouTube. I did not know about bread2. I didn't know any of the internet culture or languages or anything. The only kind of cultural aspects I was aware of and knew of was completely outside the internet and in the real world. Hanging out with hippies and goths and punks and fellow LGBTQ people. Sadly, and this is not an excuse, it's not an excuse, I hit several very tragic events in my life that messed me up. They fucked me up really bad. I had lost my job that I had 15 years that I thought I was comfortable. I thought I was going to retire doing that. Lost that job that I had for 15 years, 1 month after my brother died and was found in his apartment after rotting for 7 days. And I had reclused myself from the world in grievance, mourning over the loss of my little brother. Me and my little brother, we were like this. He was more than just my little brother, he was my best friend. So that sucked. And some people took it personal. They were like, oh, he's avoiding me. And other people were trying, no, you don't understand. He's grieving. Like, he's my friend Laylee. Beautiful person. Very, very beautiful person. Sadly, had become full-blown AIDS while I was in this process. And he took it personally. He thought, why isn't he here for me? And I went and I saw him, and I just stood there like, and just tears dripping down my face saying, I'm so sorry, Laylee, that I wasn't there for you. But in all honesty, I wasn't even there for myself. It took me a long time to get over my little brother's death. A long time. And I sort of lost touch with everything. Anything in the here and the now and the happening and what's going on in the world, I just lost touch with it. I would spend days without sleeping, sitting on the couch, staring at the wall, just nothing. Dead inside. And as I started to come out of my shell, Laylee had died. Not from the AIDS, though. He had conquered that and became undetectable again. He committed suicide. He was a very gentle soul, and somebody said something fucked up to him. I'm gonna have to bleep out that part, because, yeah, I don't know. But sadly, Laylee passed away. A lot of my friends moved very, very far away. Several of them moved to Washington State. One of them moved to Oklahoma. I mean, they all just moved, leaving me alone. I have my husband, but my entire friend circle was gone by the time I came out of grieving over this. And I was with somebody. Like we weren't married at the time, but essentially married. I was taken, so like going to the gay bar and talking to people and stuff, or doing this like weird hookup culture. None of that was on the table. Like it's not. The opportunity of having sex with me was no longer a bargaining chip. And sad to say, that is a bargaining chip in the world of socializing with human beings, is you can use the possible availability of being able to have sex with you as a bargaining chip. And when you don't have that bargaining chip, as you get older, it becomes a lot harder to make new friends. It sucks. little did I know at the time, too, that I also had taken up a job that was in the process of destroying my body permanently. Fucking assholes. See, this is the part that I miss. Fucking assholes. Break my fucking body permanently? Fuck you. I miss that. See, I haven't been like that in a while. So, this first video shows a very kind, gentle me. Still rough and jagged around the corners as most goth punks are. But the real me that I had lost before I found the whole anti-SJW thing. Where I cared about the LGBTQ community, and I cared about women's rights, and I cared about diversity, and I just genuinely cared about people. I always have, even in the anti-SJW days. That's why in those anti-SJW videos I did in the past, you'd see me like swerve between left and, like I said, I had no idea. And the thing is, this video that this clip I'm going to show you, that was a me that didn't know the internet. I knew nothing about it. I was oblivious to it. The anti-SJW videos, that was a me that was coming to know the internet but didn't understand it. And now I have come to understand the online world. And I've looked back at some of those videos and discussed it myself. Some of them I started off with very, very good points and then ruined it with like some edgelord fucked up comment. Stupid. That's really stupid. Really stupid. I'm glad I found myself again. So, here's that video, by the way. In this video, I was going to talk about, and I have to stress this highly, this is an opinion of mine, solely an opinion, and I don't hold the, I'm not the authority on this opinion. It's just simply from my point of view. And you're certainly entitled to disagree with it, but this is the way that I see this particular issue. I was gonna talk about the cultures, like, or the subcultures and pop culture, and one of the things to that is like you hear a lot that I refer to myself as a homosexual male. You very rarely ever hear me say gay. To me, gay is it's not necessarily a counterculture, but it's a culture. It's like a clique. It's kind of like a lifestyle, I guess. To me, like, I'm just a guy that's homosexual. I don't lead this lifestyle that is apparently a thing. I identify with the gothic counterculture. Let me tell you a little bit about my background growing up. When I was a kid, I was always interested in the macabre. Like, even when I was very, very young, I had Edgar Allan Poe read to me. I've always been a big fan of Edgar Allan Poe since I was really young.
Also, another thing, when I was a kid, one of my favorite movies to watch, it was an animated feature about the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, more based off of Washington Irving's Legend of Sleepy Hollow, not the Disney version Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Not the same. It literally was more based off of the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. You had the ghost that lived in the woods that went because she froze to death in there. It was a very dark cartoon. I also really liked The Last Unicorn. If you've ever seen that, you know that's not necessarily a very uplifting film. It's actually kind of depressing. It's got a lot of things that really kind of made me think and analyze the world around me when I watched it as a kid. This is a great movie. I still watch it. I only own it on VHS though. I do have a conversion to convert VHS to DVD. I can't figure out how to get the damn thing to fucking work though. I mean, it says it's doing it, it says it records it, and then it finalizes it, and I try to play the DVD in something, and it's like, I don't know what this is. I haven't found, like, a thing that'll read it. So I haven't figured out the DVD converter yet. I've had it for quite some time already. Before I even go further on this matter, even my family, like, to add to this, my past, even my family admitted to me at the last Thanksgiving dinner that we had that I've always kind of been into dark stuff. I mean, it's not a new thing for me. It's something that's always kind of called to me. And I didn't know what the Gothic community was until later on in life, but man, when I found it, I immediately identified with it. At first, I was listening to, I was raised by hippies and kind of grew up and hung out with punks. But, when I found, the goth community, I was listening to what mainstream was calling goth, which would be Marilyn Manson, 9 Inch Nails, and KMFDM, Ministry, 16 Volt, stuff like that. And they're dark. They've got some dark aspects to them, and I like the dark aspects, but the thing that I didn't like is that, I don't feel akin to the anger. That I don't feel akin to that anger. When I found the Gothic community, I realized that they had that dark mentality, but they weren't angry. It was just depressing, and that's kind of the realm that I existed in, and especially having bipolar type 2 depression, which is bipolar depression. It spoke volumes to me, and actually a lot of what the Gothic artists did in the goth community deeply resembled the artwork and poetry that I was already doing, which a lot of Gothic work has to do with the macabre, spirituality, but a lot of the people in the goth community, as myself, are nihilistic atheists. You can find Christian religious people in the goth community, but I would say it's predominantly anti-theistic. There's a lot of nihilism to it. So a lot of atheists there, which again I identified with. And then there I sunk into the goth community. I was like, yeah, this is it. This is it. This describes me. This is where I belong. And I do write a lot about supernatural stuff, but if you look beyond the supernatural stuff and look between the lines, there's actually a lot of metaphor that goes into Gothic writing. Like if you look at Lord Byron, he had a book about how a demon was chasing him. The entire book was actually about his homoerotic love for another male. And at that time that he existed, homosexuality could have gotten you killed. And, he wouldn't have been a homosexual that we would have viewed as homosexual today. He was a Gothic writer, and him and Mary Shelley and Percy Shelley, Dr. Polidori, they kind of ran in the Gothic romantic circle. Edgar Allan Poe, of course, is a Gothic romantic writer. I don't know that he hung out with Lord Byron, Dr. Polidori, and the Shelleys, but he certainly is a hallmark in the Gothic romantic movement. There's also other Gothic romantic writers that existed in those times that were not affiliated with those people. But anyway, yeah, so I identify as a subculture, I identify as goth. It's, like I said, I've always been interested in dark things. I find them fascinating, and I don't know, I just like them. It's just my cup of tea, my personal taste, choice, and preference. So, but when I talk about the gay community, hold on just a second here. I got behind me full screen. What? Ooh. That's irritating. Full screen. I got this set up behind me here. And what that says at the very top is, gay pride, does it need to reinforce stereotypes? Well, that's an interesting question. And we have this picture here. I don't know if you can see that very well. You got like a bunch of men dancing around in underwear with a bunch of rainbow colored balloons. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I don't identify with that shit. I just don't. This is why I refer to myself as a Go. The fuck. Finally. So I don't identify with that shit. I went through a phase where I tried to fit into the gay community. And when you're talking about gay community, what I associate with is like the rainbow colors and, like gay pride parades where people blow rainbow streamers and glitter and rainbow flags out of their butthole. There's a lot of diva pop involved, Lady Gaga, Cher, Madonna's a big one. Lisa Pinelli, I think that was who it is. I don't know, I'm not into it. Like, somebody forced me to listen to some of her music once. It's Lisa with a... What is it? Lisa with an S, not Z, because Z makes nuts. Or something, I don't know. That's not my cup of tea. But, I did try to fit into the gay community at one point, and I wore rainbow colors and carried a man purse. And I got like a techno album that was from Gay Pride. Ew. And I very quickly realized that even though I was dressing the part, I couldn't act the part. I got all these gay friends, and like they would talk about something that was bothering them, or somebody that they had issues with, and I would make dark jokes like, well, we should leave a dead hooker on their doorstep. I think that would be really funny. Or send them an aborted fetus in the mail. You know, just jokes. I think they're funny. Like, I think it would... The mere concept of, like, somebody sending you a dead fetus in the mail, there's nothing that says, like, you would have to think to yourself, I did something that really pissed this person off. I mean, for them to go to the trouble of sending me an aborted fetus or a dead fetus in the mail, that's pretty extreme. I find it funny. But, you know, I'd tell jokes like that to the people that I was friends with, and they'd be like, oh, that's horrible. I quickly learned I couldn't hide my true self, and so that's where I say that the gay scene is just that. It's a scene. And I've met many other gay guys that do not, or homosexuals really, that do not fall into the gay stereotype. There's nothing, like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be like the gay stereotype, that you shouldn't watch Lifetime television and the Golden Girls and Sex and the City and movies like Julia and Julie and Julia, Devil Wears Prada. Trying to think of like other like really feministic things that these gay guys like. I'm not into it. I like horror. My favorite genre of horror, by the way, is ghosts. I like ghost films. I actually like the Harry Potter movies. I don't think you could definitively say that they're gothic, but I think watching them you can definitely see how the goth crowd is attracted to them. Big fan of Tim Burton. I mean, I see people ripping on his Batmans, but it's like, pretty gothic Batman. I kind of like it. It was better than what came after he did his two Batmans. Freaking Jim Carrey as the Riddler, that was bullshit. At least Tim Burton got Danny DeVito and I can't think of her name. You know, the Penguin and Catwoman, that...
You see that? Did you see that? I wish I would have kept that. I wish I would have taken, like, because originally, when I stumbled onto that anti-SJW stuff, I should have gone with my gut feeling, because the original gut feeling I had about that shit was that it was bullshit. All of this anti-SJW, anti-feminist crap that I was finding on the internet, when I first found it, I literally looked at it and said, this has got to be a conspiracy theory. This can't be real. This sounds stupid. I had lost touch with everything. I saw videos where I was asking questions. I don't know what this is. Can somebody tell me what it is? And the thing is, no one did. No one took the time to explain to me what these things actually were. And I wish somebody would have. Sadly, it took many videos later, many years. I've been doing this for 8 fucking years, almost a decade of making videos. Well, I don't. If you go and look at the video game stuff, like it's probably been a decade. It wasn't until Cassandra came along and told me, hey, on the non-binary thing, you know they're talking about gender, like as an expression, not biological sex. You know that, right? No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. You see, and I would show a clip of what I became later for the sake of being a provocateur, being edgy, being shocking, and just, you know, being, edgy, you know, just that. I could have geared that energy towards right-wing pundits like Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson, and well, I call Jordan Peter shit, and I call Tim Pool head, because fuck them. I think their ideas, personally, to me, their ideas are crap. I have literally caught Tim Pool using a citation from Twitter, and when I went and looked at the Twitter post, when I looked at it, it had all this, like, Russian propaganda on it. Like, what? I thought you were supposed to be, like, a journalist. Like, if I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I think this is a Russian bot, why is it that a journalist can't figure that out? But anyway, I'm not going to show any of those videos. I mean, yeah, the gone but not forgotten. A lot of videos are gone. And maybe it's for the best. It's for the best that they're gone. Now, I'm not a fan of trying to brush something under the carpet and trying to pretend like, oh, it never happened. It did. It happened. I lost myself. I believed in some bullshit. Whereas I should have just listened to my gut that was telling me, there was this voice pecking on the back of my mind, like, this sounds like bullshit. I smell bullshit. This isn't real. Something weird's going on here. I should have ran with that. I didn't. So I owe Cassandra a lot of thanks for finally being the one to step up and say, they're misrepresenting and you're running with it. Because I was. I didn't realize that what I was listening to were lies. Now I know. Oops. Now I know. If there is something I don't know or know little about, I'm not going to talk about it. This is why when people ask me, what is your opinion on the Israel-Gaza issue? My response to that is, I don't know enough to comment. Because I don't. I don't know enough to comment. That is an extremely unsmart thing to do. To comment on something you don't know enough about. Just don't. Like, if it helps, listen to this. I'm an atheist. And I personally believe, it is my belief as an atheist, that the world would be a better place without religion. I believe that religion has been a plague, a shit stain on humanity for centuries. It has been used to rationalize the biggest human right violations, murderous, horrible things. And it causes people to just lose their minds, burning people at the stake, torturing people. You had like the Spanish Inquisition people that were literally just saying, how long can we torture someone before they die? I mean, sadly, that I don't believe in dogmatic atheism, forced atheism. I don't believe in that. You can't force people to be atheists. The hope is hopefully someday society gets to the point where we're rational enough where we look at religion and we say, no, just by default, like that it becomes in the way of many other things we now consider to be fictitious, just mythic. I hope religion becomes that someday, mythology, and stays there. I think the world will be a better place. So, I also hate war. I'm against war. I'm against violence. Don't support it. Nope. I don't. So, I also don't like how the tax dollars we have that goes to the socialism that we have in this country, how such a large percentage of it goes, and it's a social safety net. The military. So the social safety net, which is essentially like it's a security service, national security service. That's where the majority of our tax dollars go. I would love that we wouldn't have to do that. I would love to be in a world where we didn't have to do that, where the majority of the tax dollars could be allocated towards things like education, foster care, disability, retirement, food, health care, things like that. So you can take that information, extrapolate from that what you think it is. I'm anti-bigotry, anti-schism, so you figure it out. Because I don't know enough about the conflict over there to comment. I don't. I have learned my lesson from doing that. I don't want to end up saying something that years later I'm going to look back and go, oh my God, I said something really messed up, something horribly fucked up about that. Nope, not doing that anymore. No more. If I don't know enough about it, not commenting. Nope. Fuck it. But what I came to realize in the light of Cassandra telling me what non-binary actually means, the thing you guys have to understand is when I was a young gay man, nobody used that term. The people who we call non-binary, they were in there. They were part of the crowd. But we didn't call them non-binary. We just considered them that this is just a very unique individual. You know, this was the height of individual self-expression, and it was beautiful. Some of my ex-boyfriends, in fact, I would say, fall into that non-binary category. They've had a mishmash of masculine to feminine traits, and that's never bothered me. But we didn't call them non-binary. We didn't have different pronouns for these different variations between masculine and femininity. It's just, that's how they are. Unique individual. There was no title to it, really. And that's no one, I mean, I'm sure there's some person that wrote a book that used this sort of language, the language of like non-binary and stuff in it. I'm sure there's someone that did, a queer author or something that did. I don't doubt that. But the people around me, nobody ever, never heard this phrase used. Never. Nobody made fun of people like that. Nobody was mean to people like that. Nobody like rejected them. Nobody that I hung out with. There is that exists in the gay community. That like no femmes. You know, like there are people like that. No femmes. No masculines. You know, those people exist. And you have people like me that are like, I don't give a fuck. So, I had no idea what essentially I was attacking. Shame on me. Fucking shame on me. Fucking trash. Fucking shame. Bullshit. Fucking shame. Fuck. Fuck! Son of a bitch! So, one thing I would say is that in some aspects, I think we should move more towards being educational than adversarial. It's far more productive. But being edgy and being like, fuck you, is a lot of fun. I like to revel in my madness sometimes. I like to. I mean, come on, look at me. You're dealing with a goth punk. I gotta have something that feeds that desire to be weird and freaky and scary. Yeah. But not a fucking bigot. Not a fucking bigot. Fuck that shit. Fuck it. I was nasty. I was a nasty person in those days. I should have been being a nasty person too, who was truly my ideological enemy. People who want to take my rights away as a gay man. People who shit on the people who are my fucking friends. Trans friends, non-binary friends, family. Should have been shitting all over that. And I mean toxic fucking shit. We're talking like massive, like butt pee type fucking shit. Should have been doing that. Should have been doing that. But don't ever advocate for violence. Violence is bad. I don't advocate for violence. I advocate for peace and love and compassion and empathy and sympathy. In fact, I am a creature of it. As someone said once, Gothic people are highly sensitive people who are oftentimes hurt by their highly sensitive nature. We put this mean front on because we don't want to be hurt. We want to look dangerous because ultimately we're very soft and delicate. Or another way people have put it is, hippies are bad people that pretend to be good. I would say goths and punks are good people who pretend to be bad. When you are soft inside, compassionate, loving, and caring, people try to take advantage of that. So you put this veneer on. You dress your tears in costumes. And you act crazy and unstable and dangerous. And the reason why is you want to keep people who are dangerous away from you. You only want people in your circle that are open-minded, non-judgmental, and accepting. Like hippies and goths and punks. And yeah. So. There's not much to leave in the description of this video. Could leave a link to that video, the clip that I showed you. But I'm glad I found myself again. I am a leftist, and I need to start behaving as such. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I made those videos. I was being a fucking piece of shit. Wow. Wow. Kind of deserved the hate that I got. Not kinda, I did. I deserved it. Anyway. The comment sections are open. Leave whatever you fucking want in them. And with that, yeah, like, share, subscribe, or dislike, whatever the fuck you want. I'm out. Fuckers. It was fun doing this series. It was fun.